Alrighty then. Looks like we're back in there. Ready to do another art stream. Hope all you guys are doing good. Hopefully my mic's picking up too. Yeah. I was not planning on doing an art stream, but I was getting the itch a couple days ago to do something. Is the music alright, guys? I was trying to mess around and do what Blue Lip was talking about before by having the track name, but I couldn't get it to work beforehand. I thought I was gonna have more time to kind of set that in place. I did find there is like some kind of application for that, but I wasn't able to figure it out in time. Thanks for the cheer, Blue Lip. Yeah. I guess we're gonna start. I feel like I'm hearing a weird echo thing. I feel like it's repeating back to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Could be crazy. Probably am. Is my Google doing something? No, I'm definitely hearing something. Why is it reflecting back at me? You guys aren't hearing... Huh. Hey, Jack. I'm not echoing or anything, am I? I can definitely hear my voice in the background. What the hell? It's super faint, but on my... Okay, as long as you guys aren't hearing it, that's totally fine. But it's giving me like a weird delay. Oh, you know what it is? I have Twitch still up as in a window. I need to close that. Okay, that's what it was. I had Twitch on my computer open, so I'm like hearing my voice in repeat going like, what the hell is that? And it's my own voice coming back at me. Okay, we're all good now. Everything should be copacetic. Because okay, so we've been having issues with Twitch lately where it's not setting the tags correctly for art streams because it's different computers. So I have to start pulling it up now on my computer, open it through Chrome, make sure all the settings are right. And it did it perfectly right this time, but I left the window open with the stream going. So yeah, hence the double audio. But yeah, Chris is a little bit under the weather, so he asked if I could handle the streaming today. Wasn't planning on it, but as I mentioned earlier, I kind of wanted to finish this piece anyways, so it's a good excuse. I was gonna be working on art no matter what. Like I just would have been working on my own my other thing instead, which I think I have that around, so I can show you guys what I've been working on. Open recent. Let's load this up. I'll show you what I've been working on, because we're pretty set on recording for a while. We did some more Night in the Woods yesterday, or was it? No, it was 2 days ago. And we gotta do some more Near Automata because we've only recorded 21, something like that, 21-ish episodes, maybe a little over that. So we need to get back onto that soon to kind of get ahead because we got Ori coming up soon. Yeah, he freaking stole my joke too. Because when we recorded it the first time, I came up with a tomato joke, but then he took it from me. I set it up and he teed it off. Son of a bitch. No, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But I've been working on some stuff for like the concept pitch thing that I've been doing for a while. So this will eventually be part of a book that I will release, which is just going to be like a series of illustrations and concept design that I'll, be showing out to studios and stuff like that. Yeah, fantasy map. So I've been doing, I've been doing a bunch of cross-hatching, all this, and I tried making a brush for it, but it doesn't look good if I do it with a brush. So I went ahead and I was just like, all right, cool, I got to go in by hand. So I was going to do more of this stuff. But yes, fantasy map. Oh, were you? I didn't know you were making that tomato joke. I made it on the fly. Yes, it is the map I did for Inktober, Blue Lip. Oh, dude, thank you. I'm going to mispronounce this. Skylos Menken. If I mispronounce your name, I super apologize. Welcome. But yeah, I'm redoing all my different ones from that hijinks concept I made a couple of years ago, from Inktober. And so this is the first, I'm kind of re-illustrating. I've done a bunch of them so far. Some of them have been popping up on my Twitter. Oop. And I've just been going through slowly, kind of retooling them, re-illustrating them, and making them more presentable into like a book-like form. So yeah, I've been having fun with that. I've finished 4 out of the 5 that I've started. So I mean, technically there's 25ish to go, but I'm not gonna. Not all of them are gonna be as in depth. Some of them I don't. Some of them I might skip for the book. Some of them I might do is just like, oh, these are little character moments, and those will take me maybe like an hour, hour and a half to re-illustrate. But I was gonna take my inks and just add colors to them. But the more that I looked at it, especially with like this one, the inks just I had on paper weren't good enough, and they didn't transfer well, and I don't have a good scanner. So I was like, ah, screw it. I'm gonna think of it. I'm gonna work with my new inking style, and I'm gonna go ahead and try and re-ink them, and yeah, make them more elaborate. Yeah, Ghost Duck and Bluebeard, best boy. That was actually created by one of my students. So one of my students, I used to have prompts for them for their daily drawings, and one of them I just like was workshopping with one of my students, and she said, well, what if the duck's possessed by a ghost? I'm like, hell yeah. And eventually I developed that into this character. It's like, yeah, what if it's like possessed by a giant pirate ghost? Because we would take different words and pair them together, and I think the words that I chose was possessed duck, or she chose possessed duck, or I chose possessed, but I don't know. She's in high school now. She's such a sweet kid. A lot of sass to her too. And then I've done this one, which this one it turned out I lamented on this one for a few days, and I wasn't sure if I liked it. I wasn't sure if I liked the color scheme, but then after sitting on it for a while, I was like, nah, well, I think this one turned out pretty nice. And the cool thing is I can knock these out in about like 3 to 5 hours, I think, is about how long these take. Mostly because I'm just redrawing. So yeah, it's a hard ship. I really like this one. This one was a lot of fun. It was when I was doing my Inktober. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th one that I did of last Inktober that I really jived with. Is like, okay, this concept's cool. I believe in this. That fish looks so great. That fish is dead. that fish is long gone. But yeah, this concept's been a lot of fun. So I'm gonna probably be working on that some more later. But eventually, yeah, I'll be releasing it as some kind of a book, some kind of illustrated book, like with concept sketches and all that other jazz. But we've got to finish this thing. And I'm kind of scared to work on Azael's main character, but it's kind of one of those things. You know what? Actually, I'll just start working on some background stuff. The background will probably be easier for me to get into it and start kind of nailing it down. But how are you guys doing? It's been a while since I've really been on stream. It's not on purpose. It's just like I've been working a ton on that stuff, and I've got a lot of art commissions and other things that I've been working through and setting up and yada yada yada. So been super busy with all that jazz. Okay, you guys are there, you guys are there. Let's go ahead and put you guys in one group so I can toggle you all off and then start working on some background stuff. Let's do a dragon. I'm looking forward to the stuff we'll be playing next month too. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know what to make out of Ori yet though. I enjoyed our first playthrough of Ori, but I wasn't super like, oh man, this is the greatest game ever. So I'm interested to see what they'll do with the second one. I thought the art direction was fun, but I'm really curious to see how that one is going to evolve. Because the first one I had some problems with, just because the pacing just felt kind of weird and the bosses felt a little anticlimactic. Not trying to trash on the game, it's still a good game. Yeah, I mean that's part of it too. Ooh, you've been working on Savage, huh? I actually went through Ruby EX the other night. I've got like 10 clears or something like that. I haven't tried any of that other stuff, but yeah. Ruby was fun though. But I'm glad you're working through that. I hope you guys make some progress soon. I know my friends are kind of working on a bunch of that stuff. Yeah, Ruby X is a fun fight. It's really easy, but I like it. It's funny how much people rage in it though. There's a lot of ragey caging going on in 14, it feels like. You know, I was gonna kind of make this like a specific dragon, but you know, I'm just gonna draw a dragon. I'm gonna kind of base it a little bit on the one that I'm looking at. but nothing specific. I need to add smoothing on. That's what it is. It's a little too loosey-goosey. I've had a 4-day weekend due to circumstances, so I've been lying around. Do you smile? I know that feeling. I got food poisoning Sunday. Luckily, it was really light, so I just, it was gone very quickly, so it only took me like 2 days to get over, but God, it was not fun. So I had a 3-day weekend, not planned, and unpaid. My favorite kind. Just leveling alt during this stream. Nice. I was actually doing botany earlier. There was an achievement I was really close to getting. It was getting 280 unique types for one of the special things. Yeah, it wasn't it was not great. I just finished helping my brother, and I kind of came back, and there was some leftover Taco Bell in the fridge at my parents' place after I dropped off their truck. And I was like, you know what? I'll eat a tiny square of this. My mom's like, hey, you might want to be careful. That got left out a little too long. I was like, all right, cool. Then I'll eat 1 square of the quesadilla. I'll be fine. 4 hours later, I was not fine. That was unpleasant. I've never had food poisoning before. That was an unwelcomed experience to start off my week. I didn't want to go to work tomorrow, but that wasn't the reason I didn't want to go to work. Yeah, I was still on 14. I played a lot of 14 the next day. I did some art too. But yeah, I was definitely playing 14 because I was like, shoot. Well, I may as well catch up on some of the stuff I haven't done yet. I need to get back to leveling some of my alt jobs, but busy with the new dailies. Busy with a couple of other things. Forget what I've mostly been doing. A lot of crafting, a lot of gathering stuff, getting white script gear, stuff like that. Mostly just kind of dicking around. No real goal in mind. Okay, I need to move this smoothing up a little bit more. Let's try 50%. I am going to try, though, Blue Lip and figure out how to do the scrolling music, because I would like to figure that out. I've downloaded a tool called Snip, but it just wasn't really working, so... Yeah, no, I mean, Taco Bell's not great. I haven't had Taco Bell, I don't go on my way to buy Taco Bell anymore, especially not in Cali. There's so many good Mexican joints around here that I will always go to those first, but it was just left over. And it was something that was in their fridge, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to buy anything. I'll have this. This looks okay. But yeah, Taco Bell is not Mexican food. No, it's not. It's its own special brand. And I used to be on you know what? This is the one fast food I'll still have. I'm off that train. Never again. And it's not really Taco Bell's fault. They didn't really do anything wrong. But I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do that. I don't need to eat it anymore. I'm good. I'm solid. I'm fine. Alright, get that claw in there. So I actually just had a tutoring session with one of my kiddos earlier today. Spent most of it talking about Pokemon stuff. He's a huge Pokemon nerd. Not that I'm any different, but he wants me to finish leveling up my alt file so I can actually start trading and stuff with him. Because I haven't even beaten Nessa yet. I'm so far behind on that. Anytime that I get to play a game is usually dedicated to 14, or it's just playing Final Fantasy XII again on my Switch, because I really like that game. I'm trying to get 100% completion in that. Well, almost 100%. I just want to do the stuff I didn't do the first couple times I played it. Yeah, well, I think the reason I got food poisoning is it got left out overnight. I think that's the reason why I ended up getting it, Valentara. Is it wasn't necessary that they did anything wrong. I think it just got left out too long, and then I took a chance on it, and I took the wrong chance, so it spoiled. I made the mistake of being like, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. It wasn't fine at all. This bad boy is gonna be frozen, so I think I want to add some kind of glacier in there. And kind of go on that. Maybe like that. Yeah. All right. Let's get that dragon mane kind of maybe frozen in place. I don't think I've ever drawn a frozen dragon before. This is kind of interesting. And it's just a background item, so I don't want to put too much. I want to put thought into it. I just don't want to put over thought into it. Like, you zoom all the way out, it's like, that's the dragon. Not super visible. Oh, right there. That'll be good. I really don't like eating leftovers. I love leftovers. Half my meals are made of leftovers. Most of the time I'll make a big meal and then I'll just, you know, put it in the fridge at least a couple days worth. So I live by leftovers. Let's get that wing in there. You know, let's do that on a separate layer. Yeah, that's a bit better. Do that. And then do this. And skip that song. How do I skip that one? There we go. That's a bit better. You're going through this story for the 4th time. That's called masochism. You might want to get that checked out. It's a recurring feature of MMOs. Yeah, I did it one more time on my alt. Just for funsies, but I didn't do the whole story. I just did up to did till the end of 2.0, just because I wanted to get that 15 mount in time. So I did that, but I don't think I'll ever go through it again, unless maybe it's through that new game plus thing, which I still haven't unlocked. But I'm glad it's there, though. Glad people get to experience that content again if they want. Maybe add a little tear in the wing there. Sorry if I'm not looking at chat. I'll check in a sec. Fortunately, no crazy. Well, I mean, I do have a dual monitor, but nothing crazy in terms of being able to look up. I have to kind of tilt my head to the right in order to check it out. That's looking okay. I'll add some more weight to that. Isn't the whole point that you never beat them because more content will be coming? Don't know. The whole point is to beat them, maybe. Join a group on Prime with my alt I want you to join. Oh. So now I'm making a character on Leviathan to eventually join their static. Nice, nice. Ooh. Well, that's a good reason for doing it then. But were you on like Aether or something like that, so you couldn't just server hop? Or do you just need another character just to be able to do that? Luckily, they have that crafted 480 gear, so I guess, you know, you can kind of get away with not having to worry too much about getting gear. You can just craft all that stuff and then you're good to go. Which I'm surprised they did that. I mean, I think they've been doing that for a while. But I was still kind of surprised that that was already accessible right at the beginning of the patch. Primal is smelly. Get out of here. Insulting my home turf. That hurts. It is kind of smelly at times. You know, a lot of backdraft going on with some of those boys. Alright, let's get that in there. But yeah, I've been on a huge art kick. I'm actually thinking more and more I want to get like a digital tablet, so that way I can do some more digital art even when I'm at the D&D table or when I'm at art nights with my buddies. Just so I can get more work done. And I don't seem to be going out more and more and still doing art. And I like doing art traditionally when I'm out field sketching, like watercolor and stuff like that. But when I'm at home or a home environment, I like to work digitally. I don't know, there's some kind of disconnect there. And I'm just feeling like I've kind of got the max that I've got out of markers. I know how to use that medium really well. It just kind of comes down to my own personal skill and getting better at that. So I might be investing in one of those. I have the cash to go ahead and get one. I just know it's gonna be like $1,000 or something like that. So I'm like, hey. I don't want to, but at the same time, it's like I can see the benefit. And they have gotten to the point now where they are pretty good, but I got to do some research and figure out. And even then, I'll probably still wait a while before I do it. Freaking frackin'. Get in the kraken. There we go. That's better. No tangent. Primal is better than Crystal. That is Balmung's quarantine data center. So happy not to deal with the ERPers. Yeah, they're their own special breed. They're I'm sure they're a nice bunch, but I'm happy staying far away from the erotic role players. I didn't even know what ERPs meant for a while, and then I found out, and I was like, you know what? I'm good. Some people dig that. Not me. Not me. Ooh, grab that. That said, no shame. That's what you want to do? Go for it. Alright, that wing probably goes something like that. Little destroyed. I am getting more excited for Final Fantasy VII though, and I'm not even like a huge fanboy. Like 7's not even in my top 5 for Final Fantasies, but it's the first Final Fantasy game I played, so it kind of holds a special place for me. And I grew up just drawing the shit out of Nomura's stuff. I drew Final Fantasy VII characters like crazy when I was in middle school. I love the shit out of that game. It was the first time I kind of got exposed to that anime art style. The more I see of that game, the more I'm like, oh shit. It's pulling me back in again. Damn it. Skip. That's the song I want. We should be playing that on the channel. I don't know if we'll end up doing that as a Twitch series or if we'll do that as a Let's Play series. Not sure. I think we'll do like a vote and we'll figure out what you guys would rather see that in, what form. Because Kingdom Hearts didn't do that well. So I'm curious how that game will do. I'm buying it for me. But if I'm going to buy a game, I might as well share it with you guys too for a while. Let's see. Let's combine that. Yeah, let's get that expression a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, he's in pain and suffering. He's been frozen in ice. It's funny, playing through Final Fantasy XII, I didn't realize how much of the designs 14 took and uses in that game from that series. I love it. Don't get me wrong, I'm surprised as how much stuff is from Final Fantasy XII in that game. Like, Final Fantasy XI and 12 played a much bigger role than I thought. How do you play Nier so well? I bought the game 2 days and it feels like I need 4 arms to play. I've just played a lot of Platinum games. I played a lot of action games, despite the assumption I'm bad at video games. I mean, I am. But, I've just gotten used to it. Like, I wanted to play Nier on a harder difficulty, but Chris is like playing on normal. He's not great at being a backseat gamer when things aren't going super smoothly. Nice. But I think I'm doing okay at it, but I feel like I could do better at Nier if I had more time to practice that stuff. Let's go ahead. This dragon's actually almost done. I think I want to add some chains to it. Yeah, definitely that. But I think if you played enough, like I've played Vanquished, Devil May Cry, Beautiful Joe. You know, I've beaten a lot of Platinum games, or a lot of Hideki Kamiya games, which I don't think that's a Hideki Kamiya game. But regardless, he's at that studio, and they all kind of have like his action sensibility. So I've just gotten used to it. With how long the game is against having for normal for a Let's Play. Yeah. Yeah, once you kind of get the hang of those, it's not as bad. But I play a lot of action games. Always surprises certain people. Like, what do you mean you're good at this game? It's like, dude, I pretty much play everything, though. I'm very multifaceted when it comes to the games that I play. I play a lot more varying types. Chris plays a lot more varying types now that we started the channel. But even before the channel, I was always diving into a bunch of different genres. I was never just one type genre person. I love RPGs, and that was a lot of my homestay. But I've loved action games, I love platformers. The only games I don't really dig, I guess I like 2D platformers though. I do. It's just I'm not great at Mario 2D platformers. They kind of frustrate me. They're not bad, but I don't know. Never been too great at those ones in particular. Alright, how do I how do I add in his hind legs? His torso is probably like that. So let's do this. Let's get your butt in there. And then let's just cover it up with rocks. Nice rocks. When all else fails, rocks shall be my savior. Add some cuts. That's too much. Let's add a little bit right there, though. Wait, what was I doing right here? That doesn't look right. Alright, let's make this a hard brush. That's not what I want. Add this. Add some shadow. Maybe like that. Alright. I think I'll have even like his supposed back leg just completely in shadow. And I'll leave this for his tail or her tail. Yeah. Just one gnarly dragon tail. Whoa, the core goes. Technically, you want I wanted to play Astral Chain. Astral Chain looked cool, but with Nier being kind of on the list and like being like already something that you guys were kind of demanding, and thankfully so. I'm down. I've been wanting to play that game for a while. I just figured Astral Chain with on our plate would have been too much, and I also just knew there was other games I was gonna be buying around that time, like Luigi's Mansion and Pokemon. So I was like, God, I'm gonna have to pass on this. This looks really rad. I like the art direction. I love Platinum games, but I'll have to skip this one, unfortunately. Get this in here. Grab that. You know, I can probably... I know Animal Crossing is coming out too within a couple months, but I think I'm going to skip that one. I played a ton of Animal Crossing back in the day when it first came out on the... not Nintendo 64. Japan, it came out on the N64, but for us, it came out on the GameCube here in the States. I love the shit out of that game. That was one of my favorite games back in the day. It was a fun-ass game. Probably why I like doing furnishing in 14 so much, and why like my FC house is basically my big house. I'm the one who basically does all the decorating, mostly because no one else wanted to bother, and I was like, fine, I'll do it. I am the fearless leader after all, so I kind of have to. It's partly my job description. Let's go ahead and erase that. Nice, that dragon's looking pretty good. Probably use a couple more chains around it. Let's go ahead and make these two together. Let's make this in a folder called Dragon. Dragon. Or Dragoon. You never understood how to play it? I just was like, oh cool, I can go collect stuff. It's funny, the problem I have with Minecraft, I did not have with Animal Crossing, which it presents the very same problem. What do you do? Well, I don't know. Go do stuff. The game doesn't really tell you. It's just like, no, just get out there. And you're like, okay, it's very different. You're like, all right. I guess I'll see you later, Tom. I'll find a way to pay you. I didn't realize I was gonna just immediately be put in debt. I didn't realize there's like a college school system. But okay, I'm in there. All right, where's some other information? That's what I want. All right, let's get a little bit of snow, kind of ice cap, because Querithus definitely has that feel to it. Oop, bring that out. Bring this. Go ahead and do some of that. And bring some of that in. And there we go. Start bridging those rocks around. I wonder. Yeah, there could probably be use of a tree. Let's get that tree in there. Get that Ishgadian pine smell going on. I'll have to make a couple trees and just repeat some of them. Otherwise I'm really losing my mind. Okay, let's keep this as one kind of foreground element. I don't want to do too much to it. Alright, let's erase that. I want to add a little three-dimensionality to this. A little bit of wraparound. Try not to make this too elaborate, because I'm going to have to color and shadow all this. But I don't want it to be too simple either. You know, like just that nice middle ground. The nice middle ground of adding extra stuff. But I'm loving this new inking technique. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but that is one reason why the couchlings have become more elaborate. You did nail that on the head, Valentara. It's mostly just because I can do the inking much quicker. And I was already fast with the pen tool, but I've been wanting to refine this new technique, and the couchlings have been a nice way of kind of going about that. And that's really what it came down to. I still really love all the original couchlings I made. They all have their own style and pizzazz that I still love about them. And it also just, it kind of depends on my mood. That's, you know, sometimes I'll add a ton of background stuff, and then sometimes I won't. It depends on where inspiration strikes me. Oh, hey Gray3125, thanks for joining the stream. Sorry Jack, I find it odd that I never got too intensely into Animal Crossing, despite the fact that I frequently play Tamagotchi Life, which as far as I can tell has less to do in it. I mean, maybe that's it. I mean, Animal Crossing fills a very specific niche, you know, in the gaming sphere. It has its stalwart fans, but it is a game that isn't very driven. It's all about collecting. If you like collecting stuff, it's great. If you like doing like miniature house design and like setting up feng shuis, it's awesome. If you want a game that has a story and an objective and whatnot, you're not really going to find it there. It's not that Animal Crossing doesn't have a story, but it's, I mean, all Animal Crossing fans can admit, it's paper thin. The thing that stands out about Animal Crossing is the writing is usually really good. The characters are fun. They're quirky. They're interesting. It's a better version of Sims, in my opinion. Most of the Sims is just, it's the same idea and concept, but, you know, it's just different art styles. And the cool thing about Animal Crossing is you have the quirky characters like Mr. Rossetti, Tom Nook, his little, it's his nephews or it's his sons? I can't remember. I think it's his nephews. So, yeah. It's all about that. I think it's just all about that little motif. Like, if you don't dig that, then it's not gonna really scratch that itch. I have no problem with someone being like, I don't really dig Animal Crossing. I'm like, yeah, no, man, that makes sense. It's like Stardew Valley. Some people are just not gonna like Stardew Valley. Some people are gonna absolutely love it. It's a very zen game. It's a very game where it's just like, it's all about chill. If you don't want to chill, it's not gonna be that. It's not a high button presser. It's not a challenging game. But I do think that Animal Crossing is best on the go now. Like, I think it fits that. I think it fits the Switch really well, and I'm glad that they're finally doing it, because I thought the idea of it being on the 3DS was great, but the graphical fidelity was not where I wanted it to be. So yeah, I think now it's finally hitting that that sweet spot for that series. It'll be really interesting to see what they change in the future based on that series, and what they continue to do more of the same in. Oop, let's fix that. Kind of bury this one almost in snow. Trying just to add more details, but I think I need to leave it like that. If I add too much, it's going to be a little too complex. So the dragon's good. It's time to keep on inking some of the other stuff, but I think I have to make my brush even smaller for some of these background details. Because if I make it too thick, it's going to stand out too much. Favorite music from the patch? The Ruby weapon fight's really good. I have been listening to the music. Eden fights are good, but most of it is just... The last Eden fight's pretty cool. The third Eden fight is a remix of, I think, of like the Final Fantasy XI theme or something like that, and it's rocking. It's got some sick beats. I'd say probably the Ruby, just because the Ruby had such an oh shit moment where it changes and it was like, oh fuck. So that hit hard. As my students would say, that slaps. I've thought about implementing that to my vocabulary. I don't think I'm old enough. I don't think I'm young enough to pull off it slaps. I think I can still do it's lit. Because I can say it with gusto, but I don't think I can say it slaps. I think I finally reached my cutoff. I thought I took this track off here. Skip. It's better. I know, you can't. That's why I say it's lit. I think I can still pull that off. My whole teaching approach, though, is being affable. So, it's a tendency I have to do. I think that brush size is good. I also feel like it's lit will stay for a while, but slaps? Nah. No, I know, that's the whole point, Blue Lip. That's the subtlety of my comedy. You figured it out, the puzzle piece. Hey, Andre. How's it going? I hope I got that right. Andre, 1991 CJ. How's it going, dude? Alright, let's get more of that mountain. So subtle it hurts? Exactly. That cringe comedy. That's why my students love me. I fill that, like, dad void, but at the same time, I still look young. And I'm knowledgeable enough about all the nerd culture. It works. Which is hilarious that students think I'm cool when I was completely the uncool one. In high school and middle school. I didn't play sports. Well, I tried sports. I was bad at sports. I was just really nice to everyone. That's about it. Alright, I need to make this complete. I feel like... Yeah, let's go ahead and connect that. I think I should just take this. Hold on. Mega mind going on right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and select inverse. And then I'm going to fill this in so I can at least block this off. Let's see what the silhouette. Silhouette's good though. That's rocking. Alright. Let's go ahead and fill this in. I'll have a little bit in the foreground here to cover that up. That'll probably be a good idea. I'll have one thing in the foreground so that way this area will be blocked off. And I won't have to worry about that. I need to add more trees, but I think I'm going to wait to do that. I think I'll illustrate one fully. And then I'll just replicate it in the background a bunch of times and like do like 2 or 3 and do that instead of drawing a bunch. Save myself some time. Because it's so far in the distance, there's no point of me drawing individual trees. It's a waste of time. Alright. Grab that. Do this. Okay. Nice. Okay. That's looking good. Oh, where's my brush at? I think I had a 5. Nope, that's too big. Yeah, 4 is about right. Oh, I have missed a lot of it. Didn't you dislike The Office because of cringe comedy? Yeah, but there's the difference between I'm doing good, Andre. How about you? Yes, but I'm the one supplying the cringe, so it's fine because I'm not feeling awkward. I'm making other people just like laugh it off. It's not super awkward. I live myself vicariously through those characters when I'm watching on screen. So like if I see something that makes another character uncomfortable, it makes me uncomfortable. And other people find that funny. I don't like that uncomfortability. It's the same reason I don't like horror movies. I place myself into those movies. Some people love being scared. I don't like being scared. I've learned through evolution that, you know, being scared is silly. I've never got yeet. Yeet is just something you yell when you're like, ah, fucking I'm going for it. Yeah. Yeet is just careless abandonment. You're just like, whatever. It's the same thing as like Kobe. There's not much of a difference between the two. Ooh. I still stand by that. And I also stand by and disagree with his argument that just because I didn't watch the last 2 terrible seasons of The Office, which are regarded by most people as significantly bad. And people are like, well, it gets better in the 3rd season after he leaves. I'm like, I'm not sticking around and wasting my life on 2 seasons that are shitty. Yeah, it's a Leroy Jenkins move, too. Sorry. You can like those seasons of The Office. You can enjoy them. That's fine. I'm not going to shit on you for that, but I didn't, so I was like, I'm out. I'm good. I'm going to go watch something else. Parks and Rec works for me the entire way. Like, I still think skipping this 1st season is good because I don't agree. If you watch that 1st season, then watch the 2nd season, they feel like 2 completely different shows. They don't feel the same at all. You know? But there's also a difference. Chris watches it through the view of like, well, when he's watching a new show, he's watching with his wife. And he enjoys it. You know? Like, they will sit through and watch a show from start to complete. He hasn't watched a show, I think, on his own. God knows how long. Like, I can't even think of the time when he's probably watched something that he hasn't watched with Jen. And that's great. I mean, that's their time they like to spend together, and I think that's awesome. But at the same time, like, if you're single and you're just like, right. Do I want to watch this show? No, this 1st season's pretty bad. People say it's better season 2. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to watch season 2. Get to it. I heard Glitch Text is good. I heard that's solid. I saw a couple people that have worked on it on Twitter. And it looks good. I think I applied for that show. I never got on it. I didn't get to work on it, though. That would have been fun. Oh, no, wait. I saw a bunch of postings for it, but they only wanted, like, 3D people. That's what it was. Huh. Alright. That's looking good. Alright. Still more mountains. More mountain regionist things. But yeah, Glitch Text looks good. I've heard good things about it. I mean, I still need to watch Rise of the TMNT. I have a friend that works on that show. He's one of the animator guys. And I really want to watch the show, but it's not available on any of the platforms that I have. So I'm kind of bummed. Like, oh man, I'd love to check out the show that he's been working on. And my friend raves about it, but it's like, I don't have access to it. So I just haven't gotten around to it. Hell, I haven't finished the last season of Voltron. So that's another thing. I've been mostly just listening to, like, NBA podcasts, like The Ringer and stuff like that. Just a bunch of NBA stuff. It's stuff I can put on the background, like Sports Nation, like Beef History, stuff like that. That stuff's fun for me, so I'll listen to that occasionally. I don't care about most sports, but I do like basketball. Basketball's the one thing that I enjoy. Didn't look 3D, but I mean, there's a lot of 3D tech that goes into it, especially for the background works. Like, the character models are 2D, but nah, I'm clean, man. I'm clean on that shit. I'm too old to get away with being a pirate. No time for Halloween tricks. No, I'll just pay for it. I feel bad. Being an animator and illustrator myself, it's like, shit, I want to support those shows, so I want to do it through legitimate sources. When you're young and you don't have money, you do what you got to do. But I'm an adult with a job. I can afford to pay for a show, or I just won't watch it. I did watch all of Mr. Robot though, except for the last season. That show's fun. Not the greatest show in the world, but I dig it. It's got a fun concept. I like where it goes with it. It's very dark though. I'm tired of working on an alt and feel like leveling my main, so should I pick Dragoon, Samurai, or Ninja? Ooh. Well, I'm inclined to say Sam. I think you should go Sam. Sam or Nin, those are two obviously good choices. Go away, Little Wayne, or whatever you are. Ooh. I like Samurai. Samurai's fun. It's a lot like Monk. I like all those jobs. They're all a lot of fun. Found last week the channel series of Hollow Knight on YouTube on episode 70 is fun. Hope you guys will finish it. Oh, we're definitely playing Silksong, Andre. We're definitely playing Silksong when it comes out. The Hollow Knight is fit. Like, we did do a full playthrough of Hollow Knight. There's what, 170 episodes. Did you come from Rusty? We'll definitely be 100%ing Silksong though when it comes out. And yeah, we 100%ed Hollow Knight. It was watch every episode, my dude. We did it all. It was hard. It took a long ass time, but God. We recorded that over the course of I think like 2 years. We finished it last year, but we started back in 2017, like when the channel was first starting its roots. Like that's been our like home hitter. Like it's got a lot of good memories. We learned a lot doing that series. Really found our groove. We had just kind of found our groove at that point with how we wanted to run the channel. And Hollow Knight still stands as one of our best series. Another fun series we did was called Bully. Bully's a lot of fun too. But yeah, I'm mad love for Zote. He's my boy. I did see that plushie, but I ain't got no room for plushies. Though if they had released a maquette or like a statue of like Zote, I'd be fucking down for that. Did you use the music teasers Christopher put out ages ago? I did not. We're trying to stay as much Lewis out of the loop for Silksong as possible, so that when we go in, we're completely, you know, with our own impressions. Other than like a trailer or two, for the most part, I like to not even like as for example, when 14 ever releases a new trailer for its patches, I don't watch that stuff anymore. Mostly because I don't have anyone that bothers me to watch it like I used to. So I stay away from that. I like being as spoiler free as possible. All you have to tell me is like, there's a new season in Castlevania. I'm on it. Tell me when the release date is. That's all I need to know, and I'm in there. Otherwise, I don't need to see trailers. I don't need spoiler stuff. I just want to experience all of its goodness right then and there. And like, if someone spoils something for me, it's fine. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'll still, like, I had Avengers spoiled for me by a student. I wanted to wring that kid's neck. I wasn't going to, but I was not happy with him. It was like the day before I saw it. He told me, spoiler alert, who dies in that movie. And I was like, you. Oh, I was so mad. Because I've been a comic book fanboy my whole life. And I remember when they first announced Iron Man and like Captain America as movies back in 1999 in a Disney magazine I had as a kid. Like, they were working on making those movies. So I've been wanting to see the end of that, of Avengers, for so long. Before like it was even a thing. So to have that spoiled, that bummed me out. Still really enjoyed that movie though. That was a fun ride. Russo brothers really know how to do their shit, man. They are excellent directors. And Kevin Feige too. He knows a thing or two about comics. Yeah, I'm the same way, Jack. Like, I get that, Jack. Like, I just like going in blind for stuff. Yeah. You found this channel because of having to move? I kept having to leave the house during showings and watch through Hollow Knight sitting on a park bench. Hell yeah, well, we're glad you're here with us. Yeah, I'm super happy with all that Hollow Knight has brought us. It's the reason why this channel has become as successful as it has. I mean, there's other contributing factors, obviously, but Hollow Knight was the first thing that really started catching people's attention. I still think we're one of the only. I think we're the longest series of Hollow Knight on YouTube. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris puts every like me, and when it comes to art, Chris puts 110% into everything that he does. You know, I never question that dude's work ethic. He's always given it his all, no matter what. Okay, that looks pretty good. Chris and Mike totally was only Hollow Knight. Yeah, no, I didn't do shit. These were when I search regular with webcam. Search regular with webcam, but I like Logi. Seen the first episode. This is good stuff. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, we don't do webcams just because I don't know. I created the avatars. No, dude, Andre, you're fine, dude. I actually work with a bunch of students, like early English language learners, through most of my career as a teacher. So honestly, don't fret, dude. The fact that you can speak multiple language is astounding to me. I can speak a little bit of American Sign Language, but I wouldn't say well. Just barely passable. I wish I knew another language. Like, if I had the time, I would love to learn Spanish. Or, like, a different language. If I had the time. No, I don't like this. That's better. Nope, that's not better. That's not better either. Yeah. Never have to be embarrassed around here with us for like improper English. I'm an art student. My English isn't that great anyways. I flub my lines constantly. I make tons of mistakes and faux pas. My grammar is not the best. I am not one to criticize someone over, any language deficiencies. At the end of the day, we're all learning, and you should really always be open-minded to people in any shape or form, and just understand that, if someone's new to this country or new to this language or whatever, be nice. They're trying their best. Language is hard. Yeah, that's a better mountaintop. Nice. Yeah, that's better. Ooh. And bring that in there. Ooh. I also went to school with a lot of foreign students. Have a lot of good friends that aren't from my same country. A couple of friends from Taiwan, some from South Korea and stuff. There was a lot of foreign students at the academy that I went to, which was awesome. It was cool to get that diversity. Ooh. Very eye-opening experience, college. As it is with most people. But definitely living in the Bay Area and, going to a school that had a lot of international students makes a big difference. Oop, get that in there. I don't want to do too much detail for these peaks, but they still need a little bit here and there. There we go. Yeah, that ridge is looking pretty nice. Ah, a little bit of coffee. It's the longest and I had too much time to waste. Hell yeah. That's great, Valentar. That's our goal. Just get you on a playlist and just let you guys sail. We've got so many videos. It's astounding sometimes how much we've recorded, and I think about it. Like over 2,500 videos or something crazy like that. There's never going to be content that people will run out of. I never thought my voice would be that recorded. Oh, let's get that. It's funny, people used to call me apathetic in school too, which is hilarious now in retrospect. University had a very, very heavy international student population from Asia. Was the first time I felt in the minority as a white person. I can see that, Valentara. Yeah. It's an interesting feeling, but one that like once you get used to, you're like, oh shit. So this is what the polar opposite side of this feels like. That's interesting. Nah, it's like 6. It's 6. I drink coffee like a madman, man. I drink coffee all the time. But yeah, it's 6 p.m. PST right now, so I'll drink coffee till like 10 at night. Coffee doesn't really prevent me from going to sleep. It doesn't like give me a caffeine high where I'm like, oh, I'm wired and I can't fall asleep. It just keeps me awake when I want it to. So, yeah. Coffee up all the time. Alright, that's good. I need to get this monstrosity in here. I need to find my reference photo for that. Where are you? Oh, no. That's not it. What the heck is that thing? Is that Dalamoon? Might be. There we go. There's my reference. Okay. I need to make this one a little bit bigger because it's a little bit more in the foreground. Oop. Go ahead and zoom in. Nice. Kind of get I still want to find a way to get more of a sharpness when I end and curve with this inking setup. I still haven't figured that out. I get it when I let go of the pen, but I want to get like a curve going on, but I'm still not entirely sure how to do that. Caffeine sedates you. It is kind of a little bit of a giant mouth, so the thing that I'm basing off is in Western Corthus. So it's like a dragon's tail or something like that, kind of swirling. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a swirl to it. I might change it up though. I might keep like the dragon maw going on as well. I'm not sure, but it's kind of based off this. I'm changing it a little bit though, but that's the general idea. So I'm using that on my off thing. That sucks, Valentar. I hope that helps out though. I always say I'm tired, but typically that's just because I'm always doing stuff. Part of it is just because I'm always, like Chris always say, like, you're always tired with recording. Like, that's because I have a day job, dude. And I wake up early and I teach kids all day. And then I come and talk on here. And then I do more stuff there. So, like, yeah, man. I am always tired. Because it doesn't matter that I get 7 hours of sleep, dude. I'm always pushing myself to do something. Seize the day. Carpe diem. Oop. That's not good. That's better. I think the original idea was icicles for this thing. But I'm kind of changing that a little bit to be more of what the original intention. That's the nice thing about this new inking style, is it just allows me to really embellish on detail. I miss some of my thick line work. And I can kind of achieve that. It doesn't have the same look, but I think this is more... This in the end is more true to my essence of what I want to really do as an illustrator. So it's the right way to go. And it's going to evolve and change. I still want to get... I want to try other inking brushes and go with there. My style is very much fill in style, kind of. And I would like to get more loose like I do with watercolors. But I'm still not sure how to achieve that digitally yet. Or at least in a way that's, I think, is presentable enough to have as a full-time illustration that I charge people. Ooh, pudding. Gelatos. Dude, why are you making me hungry? Ooh. Lewis is a teacher, co-hosts a YouTube channel, does art, somehow gets 7 hours of sleep. I mean, yeah. 6 hours, 7 hours. You know, I thrive on it. I'm just like, it's from my parents. Like, I'm all about waking up early, and I mean, I've added working out to my thing. Like, so, example of my day: wake up at 7, get ready in a half an hour. You know, get my coffee, get my salad, get all that stuff. Head off to work, teach. Maybe sketch during lunch, and then go home, either run 3 miles or do an hour workout. Typically record with Chris for maybe a couple hours depending on the day, or I work on art, and then start working on art probably around, like, I get home around like 3-ish. Workout usually takes in, like, eating and working out and all that stuff, probably about 2 hours. So about like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock we'll start recording, depending on what we're recording and how long we're recording, and around 10 or something like that. Or I work on art till around 10. I wish I was time traveling. And then occasionally I'll throw in like maybe an hour or so of an MMO and stuff like that before I go to bed. I'm usually in bed by around 11 or something like that, 11:30. Fall asleep by like 12, wake up, rinse, repeat. Yeah, that's typically what I do. I still feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I can still do more art. I don't think I do enough, which is insane. But that's just because I don't have a ton of products and like stuff. Like, I've done so much stuff for the channel. I'm really trying to refocus on other stuff, other forms of art, just because the channel's in a good place right now. It pretty much has all the art assets it needs. At least for the time being. Like, I did the new channel openings for all the seasonal stuff. You know, in general, like, the channel's in a good place art-wise, that it doesn't need too much. Maybe something here or there, which is nice because it allows me to focus. Setting up Twitch was a lot of work. Cuphead's definitely on the channel, my dude. Blue, can you go ahead and get him a link to that and post in the chat? Because we played Cuphead. I don't know why it's not popping up. It should be there. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, we played Cuphead. I love Cuphead. My kid that I do tutoring on the weekends, he absolutely loves that. He's actually making his own boss fighting animation for it, so I've been helping him through that. Kid's mad talented. He's got tons of skills. Still got to work on his form and figure and foundations and stuff like that, but in terms of animation, he has a very innate knowledge to it. I'm very impressed for someone that's only like 12 years old. Like, he's gonna be a powerhouse one day. He's got a nice. He's like same like me. He's got a creative energy that he just doesn't know how to quell. funny you say time travel, because time travel is probably my favorite genre and types of films, like Back to the Future, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. I love time travel stories. Even the bad ones. All the ones I listed were good. And yes, technically Chrono Cross is, you know, dimensions and, you know, it's not really time travel, but there is a time travel segment in that game. It's very brief, but it's in there. So I'm going to count it. Okay. Let's go ahead and put some snow here. But yeah, I'm a workaholic by nature. It's funny, every now and then some people will like, oh, Sam does art, just amongst our friends, and occasionally Chris and other people are like, yeah, that's all he does. That's like his main thing. I tell people, like, if I'm not playing a video game or if I'm not working out, it's art. That's the only thing. It's my hobby. That's what I like to do. I'm going out and drawing. There's always something to be better at in art. There's always something that I haven't accomplished. Alright, get that in there. That's a good feeling. I love seeing the progress that I get out of art. It's not much like it. I do miss playing music, though. I wish I had time to get back into playing the trumpet again. It's the only thing I regret. I just don't have time for it, though. Or also, I don't, even though I still have my trumpet, I don't think they would be too, my roommates would be too keen on me playing it all the time. Sam is art. Oh, dude, thanks, God, Sente? I always mispronounce your name. I'm super sorry, dude, but it's good to see you. I don't know what you're drawing. Oh, sorry, let me zoom out, dude. So what we're doing right now is we're doing a Final Fantasy illustration. So I'm doing the backgrounds right now. I'm filling all that stuff out, and then eventually I'll get to Azael here. But past couple of streams you can check out. There are VODs on YouTube right now. But yeah, right now we're just working out background elements. We finished the dragon earlier. I definitely need to add trees, but like I said, I'm gonna have to illustrate one of those in the final color phase and then add that in later. Yeah, it was hard to practice as a kid because, you know, you live with a bunch of people, like, they don't exactly want to hear you practice, but how are you supposed to get better at it at the same time? I was a pretty good trumpet player. I wasn't the best, but I really enjoyed it. Trumpets are loud, though, so it's not like playing guitar. You can't have like a muted guitar and play that. Can't get that nice soft acoustic sound. Trumpets are just loud and they're proud. I just live my trumpet days vicariously through ska. I just listen to that, and that helps me. Listening to Less Than Jake and be like, yeah. Actually, Less Than Jake doesn't have any trumpet players. Listen to Real Big Fish. You can, but the mute makes it hard to tell what your tone is and what you would sound like while you're playing. So I've never really liked the mute. Changes your control. It makes it harder. It's like, yeah, you can use it, but it's, I don't know. It's not quite the same. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between playing the trumpet with a mute and without a mute. And the difference that it would always make would always be like, this isn't as fun. This isn't what I want out of it. Let's go ahead and erase that. Yeah. Needs more big band. Yeah, music teachers typically are. I think the only reason my music teacher wasn't disappointed in me is because I just took a different form of art. Like, I still kept with art, but they always knew I wanted to be an artist, like drawing. Currently, what I'm using now is a Cintiq tablet. It's an older model. It's a 21UX. I got it in college because I was having to take out student loans anyways. And at a certain point, my mom's like, you have this left over. It was like my last semester of college. And she's like, you got about like, I don't know, what was it? Like, however, these cost like $2,000 or something like that at the time. It's like, well, I'm gonna have to pay off my student loans eventually anyways. So I just used the rest of the loan money to go ahead and buy a Cintiq, and I've had this thing for 10 years now, and it's still fucking kicking ass. It's got like one dead pixel in the corner, and that's it. Like, this thing is rocking hard. So I use that as my main drawing thing. But I mean, when I'm out drawing, you know, before this I used to have a bamboo tablet, which is, they don't really make them anymore, but they're like the small Intuos tablets. Those are nice. Nah, you don't even notice it. I can't even tell where it is right now, honestly. It's like a blue pixel somewhere on my screen, but I've learned to ignore it. I don't even remember where it is now. I just know it's on here, and half the time you're working in color anyways, and I can't even spot it. Like, it's somewhere on here. I literally don't know where it is. I'd have to turn to a different screen or something like that to find out where it is. If it was on my 3DS or something like that, yeah, but this is a huge ass screen, dude. This is like 16 by 20 or something like that. It's a fat ass monitor screen I'm drawing on. So it's so tiny, it's like I don't know where it is half the time, especially when I'm doing like this sketching phase. So it's way less noticeable. If it was on my 3DS, which I had a couple on those, that drove me nuts. That shit drove me bonkers. But this screen is so big and it's so expensive, it's like, I'm not buying another one, nor am I gonna send this in to Wacom or Wacom to fix it, because I need this in order to do my art. I'd have to go buy another, I have to buy a another type of tablet in order to do it. The more that I think about it, though, like, that kind of goes back to buying maybe an iPad or something like that to have like a digital tablet, a just-in-case tablet. Like, oh shit, this isn't working, I can do stuff and still get it done, and still get my art accomplished. Let's see, let's turn that off so I can at least see my background. Okay, foreground's looking good. I'm digging that. Let's see. My 3DS I think is broken. I need to reboot it, but I have Pokemon on one of my cartridges, so I feel like I need to transfer them to home before I do that, or whatever, the Pokemon Bank, because I don't want to fully reboot it because it's a digital version of the game, so I don't want to lose those Pokemon I had on there. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do. A dead pixel is just something in the LED. Our computer tablet devices are all one. I haven't really looked too much into it, Sente. I haven't really looked into it. I need to do more research on it. I don't really like Apple. I'm just not a big Apple fan. I know the Apple Pen is really good and all that shit is nice, but I want something that has Photoshop. And I don't think the iPad has Photoshop yet. And I want something that's going to be able to, something I can transfer between the two. If I'm going to buy something that allows me to work remotely, I want it to be, a Photoshop file, so I can take it and work on it when we're doing D&D, or when I'm at my friend's pad doing an art night, and they'd be able to go like, cool, save it to the cloud, download it later. Awesome. I don't hate Apple. I think they make good products. It's just they're typically overpriced. I think the Apple Pen is good, but if Wacom or someone else has a comparative one that's around the same price and has a decent battery life, that's honestly what I want to go for. Also, sorry I didn't say it, but Seasonal Coma 997, welcome to 10 More Minutes. Thank you for following us. But yeah, I don't hate Apple. I'm not against it. But I have an Android phone. I like customization. I've always been a PC guy. I'm just not a fan of Apple UI. Thank you, Valentara. Maybe you can convince Chris, because he fucking hates on me all the time. He's like, no, I just don't like it. I like to see my wallpapers. I like to not have icons fluttering my screen. I don't like it. It's so funny. Apple is all about simplicity in their design work for like their actual devices, and then their UI looks like fucking trash. It just doesn't make sense to me. They're all about clean designs, and then their UI is the exact opposite of clean. It's just clutter everywhere. I don't like it. Yeah, that I like the fact on Android I can kind of like take certain stuff off and all that other kind of stuff. That being said, if you like Apple, that's totally fine. It's a personal thing of mine. Yeah, it's easy to rewire your brain to make it work. Yeah, I love the Switch's UI. God, the Switch's UI is like, it feels so nice. I'm like, oh, they figured it out. They figured out how to take that 3DS UI and make it even better. It is such, it's so freaking good. I love a good UI. I love a good UI in video games. They really did. I think Sony's is okay with the PlayStation 4 as well. I think that's okay. I don't know what Xboxes look like. But I do think Nintendo's the champ. I like Nintendo's the most. Sony's close second for me. I haven't seen Xbox One. I played a lot of Xbox 360 back in the day, but I don't know what it looks like now. Steam UI? I think Steam UI has gotten better, but Steam follows a different function than what you find for other stuff. I think Steam is serviceable. I think Steam is exactly what I want from it. I think it could be better, but at the same time, Steam is dense, but Steam has to be dense. So there's a different type of what you need from it, you know? Yeah, it definitely follows a different kind of... It has a different space that it needs to occupy. It needs to do different things compared to what the Switch needs to do. You need more. You need way more from Steam in terms of information than you do from the Switch. So yeah, the Steam is a very well done UI. But when you go with consoles, you don't need all that customization. You don't need all of those different tabs and extra things because they have submenus for all that stuff. So you don't need it as much. But yeah. Alright, this is going to be background. What I need to do is I need to take this. I need to please keep my shortcuts. Select inverse. Time to fill this out. That's probably too bright of a color. I need to have something a little bit softer. That's better. Okay, whoop, that's way far away. Background, let's get that dragon. Throw them in there. I'm thinking it needs one more. It's gonna need one more level around here before I can call that part good. Huh. I can't still tell if Steam called Steam dense independently of me. It seems like you said it as I was hitting enter. I don't know either. The streamer audience are perfect in sync. Yeah. You guys have just been watching too much of 10 More Minutes, so you guys are starting to feed onto my brain energy. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what I want to do with this. I need to isolate some of this stuff. Let's turn that off. I need to figure out where the core of that background is. So let's go through here. Those are rocks. Don't need that on. Don't need that on. Okay, so I think... Is it on this layer? I should have named these a little bit better, but that's okay. So there's my rocks there. That's what I initially planned. There's a Zale. There's this. Is there more here that I turned off? No. No. Oh, I drew it there. Okay, I was gonna have like snowy hills and stuff. I think I need to turn off my smoothing for a second, and I think I just need to do some dirty sketching again to figure some of this stuff out. Okay, characters are like right around there, you know. Got your foreground there. Probably want some like peaks and stuff there. I'm having some of that stuff go like that. Yeah, kind of fill that out. And I'll probably have a bunch of trees. Tree. What's that thing? Scree. Give him a mustache. Break that out. I think I need something. Probably more trees. Trees. More trees. Tree. Yeah. Screeby. Let's see. More trees probably there. I'm trying to think of what else. Like, Querthus Western is very barren, but I want to make it Querthus, but still, you know, I like that element of having more winter stuff. Maybe I could have like a babbling brook. Like a frozen lake. Trees. More tweez. Still remember being in high school one time. Some guy tried to sell me trees at school, and I had no idea what it was. And then as he talked to me, he's like, "You want to buy some trees?" I'm saying like, "I don't want pine trees. What are you talking about?" And so then he walked away, and then Mike was standing next to me. He's like, "Dude, he's trying to sell you pot." I was like, "Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I get it now. I understand. I mean, still no. I'm still solid. I'm good. But I'm glad I know what that means now." All right, I think that's good in terms of that. But I think this foreground is still a little too. I think I need to take this idea, but I need to pump that up a little bit and move that there. Just get me to try and save the environment. Maybe. I don't know if that was what he was aiming for. I never saw that guy again, too. I don't know where he came from. I did not notice him. I knew most of the kids in my high school. I did not know who that dude was. I never saw him again. Probably did not go to my school. Probably the same guy that broke into my car. Who knows? Maybe I'll blame him for all my troubles in life. If only I knew his name. If only. Alright. That's there. I need to have some more. I need to figure more of this out before I can start inking again. Get bigger, brush. I need you bigger so I can erase shit. Snowbank. Snowbank. Yeah. Snowbank. Rocks. Rocks. More rocks. Maybe like a cliffside? More snow. Whoa! So many Corgos. Oh my god. What's going on? There's so many. They're falling from the sky. They're dying. You're killing them. Look at them falling off into the abyss. Oh my god, Valentar, thank you. That's just... Well, 30 Corgos were lost in the Corgo purge, but you know, we at least saved 10 of them. They made it into the cup. Oh my god, so many Corgos. Jeepers. Jeepers creepers. I have to go through. Mystery tree boy. Yeah, I don't know. He's off there somewhere in the wilderness. Figuring things out. Accurate description of living in England. I'd be down for that then. Corgis? They're good dogs. Alright. I might have to make these guys not be as flown up. Well, nah. They'll still be fine. I think I just need to have impact points. So if he's flying off there, I might have to just move him. I wonder... I drew these guys separately, right? I think I did. No, I didn't. That's okay. Cut, paste, cut, paste. Let's call you 3. I was gonna need to do this anyways. Cut, paste, cut, paste. Let's call you 2. I think Jen's home. Hearing someone in the background. I don't know where I'm gonna put you, Spear Boy. You can hang out right there. And you're gonna be number 1. You're the first dum-dum that got knocked out. And then the giant. Okay. Okay. I need to label this. Sketch. Okay. Alright. Oh, that's why. I need to turn the Zale off. There you go. Alright. Alright. Huh. I sent too much. See how it handled like 400 of them? My computer did pretty well, all things considered. What's the jar do? The jar is just a tip thing, Lewis. So Valentar is gracious enough to tip us some bits, and bits are basically, you know, real world currency just transferred through Twitch, supporting us. Would it be okay to ask for art PCs here, or should I ask somewhere else? I mean, you could ask here. I can help you out best I can. I build a custom PC though, for my stuff. That's what I ended up doing. I've had custom PCs for a long time. I mean, pretty much anything with a decent amount of RAM is going to be solid in terms of art production. Most people that are artists end up getting Macs because they're not good at building PCs. That's not a slight against them. It's just Macs just work innately. So if you don't know a lot about computers, you're just like, just get a Mac and get Photoshop. It runs super smooth. But at the same time, if like you're doing high-end editing and stuff like that, most people end up having custom PCs. Like Pixar and all the big studios use PCs. It's more so like artists that aren't at a studio tend to use Macs, because Macs, like, you buy it, you know what you're gonna get. You don't need to worry about the specs. You don't need to worry about what's installed on it. You just install Photoshop and you're good. Oh, art speak, computer speak. I do not speak. So I mean, you can go with anything that has decent specs. Like mine's built for gaming and art, so it's kind of a weird hodgepodge. How much RAM do I have on this thing? I'm not sure, but like I have a GTX card and stuff like that, NVIDIA card. I have a decent amount of RAM. I think I have like 32 gigabytes, something like that, of DDR. Is it DDR4s, I think? Or 5s? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember what I did. Okay, this is the impact point. I need to find ways of implementing that. So I've got this. There's going to need to be a little bit of foreground elements. But if you have questions, yeah, go for it. And if I don't answer them here, I can always look it up later, Sente. And I can go ahead and just send you what like my specs and stuff like that. What's the recommended amount of dedicated WAM I should have if anyone else gets what I'm memeing at? Yeah, you can pretty much do anything, but yeah, if you want something that's... Macs are more expensive, but they're good to go. Like, they run Photoshop like a pro. The only problem is, like, if you buy a Cintiq tablet, like the big monitor ones, they don't work with Macs from what I understand. But if you buy an Intuos tablet, they work just fine. They might even work now with Macs. Just back when I bought this one like 10 years ago, it didn't. It hasn't been 10 years, it's been like 7 years. But give or take, like, you know, back then these didn't play well with that, and you have to have a PC for it. With Photoshop, it does help to have a graphics card, though. It helps run, like, you can't do this thing where you turn the canvas without a GPU. To build your own PC that you could be used for art and for gaming from the scratch up without monitors and all that other stuff, plus a tablet to draw, as long like we're talking like a lower end tablet that doesn't have a screen on it. Maybe if one does have a screen, if it's not a screen tablet and just one you just draw and then look at this monitor, you're probably looking at like $1,200, $1,300 in terms of price, something like that. Yeah, before I stop the stream, if you want to try and break it, you could, but I don't think it'll break. I don't even know how to empty it. I don't want you to waste all your money, Valentara. But if you want to, at the end of it, if you want to try, you can go for it. Yeah, I'd say, like, if you want to build a good PC that can play games well, like most games on high end, you're probably looking at, like, plus art related, you're looking probably around $1,500 for everything and art wise, but that's without like a Cintiq monitor. Now they have gotten cheaper, but like a good Cintiq monitor to draw on, which you don't need if you're getting into art, you know, you're probably looking at spending like $3,000 to like $3,000, you know, because these things are usually about $2,000 to $1,000 depending on what you're doing. It's worth the investment though, because I mean, I've had this thing almost 10 years, but like, even if you bought an iPad and you use that to do all your digital art, that's still $1,000, you know, that's about what it costs. But I do think if you're first getting into art, just get a bamboo tablet. They're like $50, something like that. Hook it up to a PC and do that. I mean, that's what I worked on for about like 3 years. Is I worked on a small 6x6 tablet, and I used that. And I know people that have had an Intuos tablet, which is non-screen. It's like 11 by like 6 or something like that, and he's been using that to do professional art for the last 20 years. You know, like, you don't have to have a monitored screen. It's nice, but it's a luxury. You can create high quality art without it. You just got to train your eye to be able to look at the screen while you're drawing, and eventually you get over that. It's really not too big of a deal. I could get back to doing that if I needed to. I've just had this one for so long, and you know, that stuff is also getting cheaper. You don't have to go Wacom. There's a couple other people that make other good monitors now, and you don't have to go Apple either. I think to get a good monitored tablet now, you can spend around $700, something like that. So it's not that bad if you think about it. Video game consoles are going to be like $500, $400, something like that. So it's relative. It depends on what you want to get out of it, you know. For me, this thing has definitely been worth the investment. It's more than paid for itself. I've had enough jobs over the years that I have made more money doing it with this than I have not. So it's definitely been worth the investment, but I'm also a professional. So there's a difference there. If you're an enthusiast and you just want to start getting into learning how to do it, get a bamboo tablet. They're $50. That'll give you a feel for what it's like. Maybe even go to like the Apple store and check out like the iPad pen and stuff like that. That'll give you an idea, because they usually have displays and stuff where you can test that stuff out. But yeah, I recommend for any starter, just get a bamboo tablet unless you have disposable income. If you have disposable income and you know you're going to spend time doing art all the time, then sure, go for it. But yeah. I hadn't really started using Twitch again until like Evo started popping up. I mean, Evo's been around for a long time, but the main thing I use Twitch for, other than streaming and watching occasional art streams and stuff like that, is mostly just from when Evo or fighting game tournaments pop up, and I'll usually watch that stuff. There's some people that are better with drawing with a mouse. It's not crazy. It's just a different tool. Yeah, I'd say that's where you want to go. Sente is just first start with building a decent PC. Go to like PC Part Picker. That's a good place to like start picking out the parts and kind of building it from there. It's going to be a lot of research figuring out what you want to do. You want to find like, what kind of art are you looking to do? Are you trying to do 3D art, or are you doing like Photoshop stuff like I'm doing? That makes a big difference too, like with how much RAM you're going to want and stuff like that. There's also a bunch of new RAM coming out, but having a graphics card does make a difference in terms of rendering times. I also work on much bigger file sizes than a lot of people, so there's that too. I can't do it with a mouse. I need a pencil. I need some kind of pen to do whatever I'm doing. All right. Let me figure out the trajectory for these bad boys. Let's go green. Rocks. 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 I definitely want an impact zone. I'll check chat in a second, just making sure I get kind of some of this in there, figuring out a bunch of this. Warrior of Destruction. I think even like I'll probably have like snow and stuff like going past him. Might even have like some rocks honestly that are like flying past him. I might have smaller chunks, but he's being blown back a little bit by this. This is probably before he gets blown back. Rock, 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 more rocks. Yeah, that's looking good. That's definitely feeling like grounded now. It's feeling like there's the environment that they're living in. Drawing basic Photoshop logo. You won't need to probably rock out as much as I do when it comes to a PC. You could probably get away with building one for around like, I mean, you'd still want to build something nice because you may want to do some gaming on it too. So yeah, probably about 1200 to 1500 for a good one. Oh, hey Frederick, Fredericker X. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Good to see you, Fred. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well, dude. But yeah, in terms of like PC and stuff like that, yeah, you're gonna want to build a decent one. Like you could build a cheaper one for like 800 or something like that. But I wouldn't bother. You're gonna want at least an Intel 5. You'd probably honestly want to go with an i7 processor, stuff like that. And you can always buy pre-built PCs too. You don't have to build your own. I like building my own. But I also know that that's an endeavor, and it can also be daunting for some people as well. Let's add a tree back there. More rock, more rocks. Yeah, I think that's good. And then I'll just have kind of like some snow here. sticking out. I think that's good. I think that is enough detail that I can start doing some sketching for that stuff. What time is it? 6:54, 2 hours in. We'll go for a little bit longer. I want to get a little bit more of this background stuff in before I stop tonight. I do have other stuff to prep, so for tomorrow, but I want to get a little bit more of this in there before I call it quits for tonight. Dude, thank you so much. If you have any more questions, just message me on Discord. And I can give you some links and stuff like that. It probably won't be right away, but like by Wednesday or something like that, I can hook you up and send you some links on what you want in terms of where to look and kind of like what my stats and stuff like that are for my PC, just so you have an idea of what is kind of going on. I'm always open to questions. So like if you guys have questions about stuff, feel free to ask me. It's like I tell people that email me, like, I'll always get back to people. It might take me a day or two. I might have to process it in my mind, be like, okay, how do I answer this best? All right, I think in terms of brush size, turn on smoothing. Let's get a good like 30%. That's too thick. I was rocking probably like a 5 or something right there. 5 is probably still good. I don't really want to do much thicker than that. Alright, let's find my reference. Let's get some of this done. Ooh, Pat Brewster's work. Forgot that wallpaper was there. This work's rad, and I haven't looked at his stuff in a while. Alright. Okay, enough doubting. Let's get in there. Still trying to figure out the best way to draw snow, but I'll figure it out. Then again, I'm still figuring out how to draw rocks. My favorite thing to draw, and yet still one of the things I'm like, how do I make it cooler? And part of that I know is color. Part of that gets revealed with, you know, once you make it white, it kind of gives off that flavor no matter what. But that's stuff that I think about even when I'm illustrating, is just, you know, how do I make this rock face different? Is there different ways to draw this stuff? Is there better ways to draw this stuff? You know, how do I make this rock face different? Where do I want to add curves? Where's the lighting coming in? And like I was explaining to a kid that I tutor, you know, it's kind of like when you're making a D&D campaign. It's the same thing that goes with writing. You're always thinking about all the individual elements and how they interact with stuff. And the better you be the more experienced and the longer you illustrate, the more you're always trying to think, or you should be thinking more so, how does this enhance the story that I'm trying to tell? Even if it's just a portrait of a person, like, what's the history of this person? What am I trying to tell with this piece? What am I trying to accomplish? What's the goal? What's the mindset for what they're going through right now? How do I capture that essence of the person or what the people are feeling? Even when it's as silly as medieval soldiers being knocked back by a warrior with a giant axe, you know? There's still stuff like that. Corner Rain. Does Sam have an Instagram, DeviantArt, or Instagram for more? I do have an Instagram. I do have a Twitter. Yeah. If you go on the Discord, we'll have a link. Also, if you go to our Twitter, Chris retweets my art a bunch, so you can find it through that too. We've been talking about it for a while with Blue Lit, but I needed to make I need to make a way of making that easier and more accessible to you guys. Because I'm bad about it. But yeah, I have a DeviantArt, I have an Instagram. I'm all over the freaking web. I've had a DeviantArt for years. I'm just wary of linking it in the Twitch chat for some reason. I don't know. I call me superstitious, something like that. But you can, if you go on the Discord through our YouTube, I'll go ahead and post a link there after I'm done with this, for that kind of stuff. I'll need to ask Chris how to make that channel, or maybe I'll pin it to 10 more minutes art or something like that. Something. Yeah. Oop. I shouldn't be as nervous about it though. Oh, hey Pat, how's it going? Pat follows me on Twitter. Pat knows my handle. Super sleuthin'. Blue Lip does as well. They're sleuthin'. They figured out where I hang out. I actually have been doing a bunch of research on like how Instagram works, trying to up my follower count and stuff like that. Working on my hashtag game. Not that that stuff really matters. It's just the more visible you are, potentially the more jobs I can get, more money I can bring in and stuff like that. It's not that hard. Yeah, that's true. If you want to, Blue Lip, go ahead and link my Twitter in the chat. I can't right now because I'm busy doing this, but go ahead and do that if you can. How you doing, Pat? I'm not gonna be going for too much longer, but I'm glad you can make it. I'm gonna be we're still gonna be here for a little bit. I'm gonna finish most of this background stuff, but not all of it. I still got a bunch of stuff I gotta prep for tomorrow. Wasn't planning on streaming, but like I was telling them earlier, Chris isn't feeling that great. And his voice isn't in top tier condition, so he asked if I could pull on an art stream tonight by solo. And get that in there. Get a little bit of rocks. I post way more on my Instagram, but once you have my Twitter handle and you look me up that way, you're gonna find everything else that I'm a part of. You just copy that name, paste it on Google, find everything I've done. It's a very uncommon last name, so it's not. Once you have that, you're freaking good. Thanks, Pat. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. I enjoy sitting here and doing art with you guys. Ooh. And I will be trying to do a couple more, especially for this one. Probably do another one later this week. I want to get this one done. I'd like to put this up through my portfolio, probably. Pretty soon. Because there's a lot about it that I like. That, and I want to knock this one out so that way we can do art streams that won't be as long-winded. Like I talked about, there's that children's book set of illustrations I want to do after this. So I want to make sure that that becomes a thing next. I like the concept that I came up with. I just got to do it, and it'll help me get potentially more client work too. So I want to start working on those, and those will be much more time condensed. It's the ones I have 3 illustrations planned out. They're going to be like based. They're going to be a different style than this, but it's about a little kid pumpkin with 2 ghosts, and they're Halloween based stuff. I always loved that Halloween children's books when I was a kiddo. I always read like Meyer Mercer's books, like Alligator Under My Bed, you know, all that stuff when I was a kiddo. Like Maurice Sendak books as well. I always love like Where the Wild Things Are and that kind of stuff. So I want to do, it's not going to be that style, but I've always loved that genre. Like I loved skeleton books when I was a kid. There was like some bone book about like 3 skeletons, like a dad and his 2 kids running around, and they would always lose themselves throughout the night. Charlie Brown Christmas, stuff like that. I've always enjoyed, not Christmas, but Charlie Brown Halloween and The Great Pumpkin. I've always loved that stuff. So it's gonna be like a little pumpkin kid-headed character that's kind of based, it's loosely based on what I've been doing for the hijinks thing. So it's that character, but it's like him younger. It's the Velis character, which is the Pumpkin King kind of character, but him younger, and it's gonna have like a more artsy style to it. So there's a couple there I want to do, and then there's just some offshoot stuff, and then we'll get back into more actiony stuff as well. But it'll be a nice break. Like there's some science fiction illustrations I want to do too. I just want to do ones that are going to be a little bit more condensed, that won't take as long. I do love watercolor. I would love to find a way to make watercolor digitally. I know that Procreate has some cool brush sets, but I do love watercolor. I've slowly over the last year I've gotten really into watercolor, and it's become one of my favorite mediums, especially when I'm going out and doing plein air illustrations. That's one of my favorite things to use. Watercolor is great. It's just one of those mediums that it's good for children's books too. And I love children's books with them, but there's such a, I'm not well versed enough in the medium to do it that way. And I've kind of created a more polygonal style for my children's book, which is a little bit quicker. But I would love to do some like big illustrations in watercolor, and I've done a couple. There's some on my DeviantArt. I want to say I count some. There's one on my DeviantArt I did for an art show about Krampus, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Oop. Get that snowbank in. Okay. This is mostly going to be trees, but I do need to do, I think, a little bit of a rock face right here. And a lot of this stuff is going to be hidden, so I don't have to do too much. Just want to make sure I don't have any tangents going on. It's the main thing. And when it's hidden, I can just do something like this, because it doesn't really matter too much what's going on. It just matters that the point is connected. So I'll turn that on, and I'll take this. Oop, not that. Take that. Pull you down, and then I'm going to go ahead and add another color right above that. Oop. I'm going to stick you guys in a folder. So I need to add something. I need to do this foreground area, but do a little bit more there. The giant will be over here. Okay, yeah, that's working. Now what are the giants? I need to pull you guys ahead. The dragon needs to be behind this. So one. Let's pull you guys. Let's pull my characters. I need to pull my characters into the illustration now. Oh, that's what I can do. Let's take the giant. Let's delete this. What's this? Those are the sketches. I don't need those anymore. I can throw this into there. Azael still needs to stay there because I need to be able to see that. You need to stay there. The giant, however, is going to need to be behind the dragon on that foreground. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that works. That's what I want. Okay. Sorry, I'm checking chat now. Social media talk reminded me, this is probably just formality or everything, but may I use the couch analogy you drew for me on other sets? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Go for it. It is yours. Use it wherever. Dude, spread the word. Spread the word of 10 more minutes in my art. Just tell, when people ask, who did that for you? Just refer them back to me so that way they can hire me to do that stuff. Hell yeah. I want you guys to tote my art. Like, tote the shit out of it. No, Lewis. You're totally fine, dude. You're totally fine. You are 100% copacetic with me. It has my last name out there, and I trust you guys. But you know, anybody, I've shored up my defenses so I don't get DOSed or something like that. So hopefully, I don't know why I'm so hesitant now. Like, part of being an artist is just throwing yourself out there. So no, you're totally fine, dude. Most people know what it is. It's listed on a bunch of the videos, anyways. If you look at the Game Grumps animated I animated a while back, it has my last name on there. It's not more so for me. It's more so for the people that are around me. That's the only reason I get hesitant. It's not about myself. I don't care. I'll throw that out there. I don't care. I think about, you know, everyone else in my life around me, because I'm not just putting myself out there. By putting my last name out there, I put out everyone else in my life around me as well. Like, that puts Chris out there. That puts Mike out there. That puts, you know, family members out there. That puts specifically my family members, because my last name is very unique. And then it also puts out, you know, a ton of other stuff, like the students that follow me and what schools I've taught at, you know, stuff like that. So like, that's the only reason I hold it close to the chest, and I don't usually like put it out there too much, because as a teacher I really think of the ramifications of everything that I do, and I overthink things. I'm like, okay, I need to be, you know, very guarded about that. That's why I don't say the specific schools I teach at and stuff like that on the stream and on the channels and stuff like that, or where I'm working, because I'm very protective of my students. Like, they mean a lot to me, and I would never want to open them up to the pursuit of possible dangers or ramifications and stuff of that nature. So that's one reason. Like, me myself, nah, I don't care, go ahead. But yeah, like, that's the only reason I have become kind of guarded about it. It's not so for myself, it's more so for everyone else around me. Let's see. Let's put you here. You're gonna be layer 0. I have not saved this in a while. I better save this file. God, because if this fucking thing corrupts, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Okay, let's throw you behind the giant so I know what I have to draw. Bingo. Okay, cool. That'll work. Yeah. Like, that's my only thing. Like, more so than anything. Like, all you guys, you're cool. But you know how the internet is. I don't want, like, anyone to harass, like, if they found out I had a student, they were mad at me and harassed them over shit. It's like, no, man. Some people don't understand that, you know, that barrier, whatnot, that like creators are entitled to their private life, and it's like there's certain aspects, you know, you're not supposed to cross, type of deal. I need to add a bunch of trees to this shit, but like I said, I need to draw a tree. I need to draw like 4 trees, and then I need to replicate them, is what I need to do, and then go from it from there. Snowbank, rock. The thing is, I need to make this simple because it doesn't really matter. There's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff here. Like, all that stuff. This is not going to be super important in the grand scheme of things when it comes to this illustration. Okay, let's do a rock face that's coming up. Oh. There we go. Nope, that's a tangent. There we go. But no, dude, you're fine. It's a very natural thing to ask. It's like, oh, do you have other places where I can look at your art? It is an art stream after all, you know? Yeah, exactly. The SWAT thing is very much a thing too. I think that's very much died out, especially since people have gone to prison and jail for it, as they rightly should have, because, you know, that shit's fucked up. But I think that stuff has kind of died out a little bit. It's more so now people are just dossing people because they can get away with that, and it's not, I mean, it affects people, but not in the same way as a SWAT thing does. I'd like to think that that's dying out. I'd like to think that people have heard and learned their lesson and be like, oh yeah, not cool, dude. It's like SWAT teams are, you know, made for actual purposes and not for your dumb amusement. Okay. No. Let's make a little bit more snow here. Ooh. There we go. That's better. I'm always trying to get better at background stuff, so this presents a cool challenge. Something I've really tried to focus on over the last couple of years is really getting better at background illustrations. I finally feel like I'm at that point where I can kind of do any background that I want, and I'll just keep on getting better at it. Alright. I think I can break this up a little bit. There we go. That's better. That's much better. Cool. I mean, it doesn't matter that this is kind of... Well, I should fix this just in case. Just in case I have to move a character around later. It will be interesting to see what my yearly D&D illustration will look like this year, though. Especially with this new technique. It's only 4 months away. That's right, this is going to be a waterfall. Yeah, it's really crazy, Sente. I don't know why. I mean, it's also one of those things, it's silly to be so guarded in some senses because Google has all my information anyways. You know, most companies have my information. If you really want to try and find me, if people really want to do stuff, it's like they're going to be able to. There's nothing you can really do to stop it. So there's no point of really worrying too much about it. But still guarded. Just a little bit. Slowly getting over it, though. Remember, we weren't at 17,000 a year ago. A year ago, around this time, I think we had just hit like 3,000? Something like that? Something along those lines. Yeah, it's crazy to think how much this has grown. My face is almost nowhere as well. There's not that many pictures of me. There's more so now over the last couple of years, but there's not too many pictures of me online. And some of them are outdated now. I've lost another 30 pounds since then. And I was already skinny like the last couple of years, but... So it's kind of funny, like some of those pictures are already outdated. Let's get that waterfall in there. Water veins. Hopefully I remember that that's a waterfall. Nice. Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, we hit 17.5. A lot of it is thanks to Rusty. Rusty gave us a nice shout out the other day. That helped out a ton. Which we were not expecting. It was a nice boost. Because YouTube has like changed a lot of the way we can do advertising and bringing in people. They changed a lot of that stuff, and it's hit the growth of the channel pretty hard. Which is a bit of a bummer. Like, we were getting around like 2,000 a month. Now we're lucky if we get like 200. Because they changed a bunch of their shit. Don't know why they did it, but we'll figure it out. Channel's gonna keep going for a long time. And we're grateful for what we've gotten. Alright, that lake is there now. Nice. Definitely needs trees, but I'll do that on another... do that on another part. Let's add some snowbanks. Let's add some spires. I'll check chat in a second. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to finish this part. Get that in there. Oh, not that. And then do that. Get a little bit more snow. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice foreground elements. Though I do think... oh, that's why. I didn't finish that. That makes more sense now. Okay. Where's this? Not there. Oh, yeah, that is that. Okay. Yeah, I guess I do need to add a little bit more then. Just a little bit. A little bit more of that. A little bit more rocks. Yeah, because this is gonna be... it's gonna be over the dragon. So I need to fit that in there. Yeah, that should be good. And then I'll just put trees on the other side in order to do that. Cool. Cool. I can actually probably... yeah, I want to raise that a little bit actually. That's better. Raise that. This is another reason why I do, especially in Photoshop, I do stuff on layers. Because it allows me to do little edits like this, where it's just enough. It's like this can really, it can really change a way a piece feels, even just by slightly changing it a little bit in certain directions. Oop, not that color. That's better. And do that, and select inverse, and let's go ahead and fill that in. And fill that. Nice. Oh. Sorry, I have not checked chat into it. Oop, 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 oop. Ooh. Last time I looked. Yeah, we're almost at 20K, which is insane. You know, last November, not last November, but the November before last, we had just started the Patreon and we had just hit 1,000 thanks to things like Hollow Knight going big on God Home. So it's crazy how much the thing has grown. Pretty much, yeah, Blue Lip. That's what it feels like, a time that they're just throwing us under the bus every now and then. YouTube is YouTube. It's like Chinatown. Yeah, thank goodness for Patreon. Patreon makes the biggest difference, more so than anything. 7K? It's crazy. It's crazy that we've grown that much since then. I think so too, Blue. I think you found us right about at like the 1K marker. I think the only people that like predate you is God, why can't I think of his name? God, I can't think of his... Fume. Fume found us like when we were like at 700 or like 600 or something like that. Bear, who's one of our patrons, found us at 190 or like 90 or 80 subs or something like that. It was like crazy low. Yeah. Sounds about... That's halfway through Hollow Knight. That's insane to think about at this time. Channel at 1K mark. Yeah, you've been with us for a long time too, Jack. It was about the 1K mark. DR2C. What's DR2C? What game is that? DR2C. Dungeon? Looks like a demonic sun. I forgot that shit's still on there. It kind of does look like a demonic sun. Ah, yeah. Death Road to Canada. Death Road to Canada. That's why I can't think of it, because I didn't play that. That was Mike and Chris. That makes sense. Yeah, Death Road to Canada is a cool game. Okay. We've got a ton of work in. Next time we'll add trees. We'll add our splash. And we'll do a Zale. And then it's going to be shadow time. I think we'll be able to get this done in about probably 5 more episodes. Probably less than that. Hopefully there'll be more, because I want to get this done within like the next 2 weeks. So there might be a lot of art streams over this next amount of time. But yeah, it's time for you to break it, Val. So if you want to get in there and break the thing, be my guest. Have way with it. Break everything. Oh, wait. It's like a good old stretch. Oh, God. There goes the jar. It's dying. Holy shit. There's all the corgis. They're not... No! It's rain in England. The Queen's having a conniption fit. She's losing her mind. Or she's on Air Force One and she's dropping all the corgis down like on parachutes. Oh my God, Val. Don't break your wallet. Don't break your wallet for the stream. Cheezers. I don't think you're gonna break it, Val. You might want to stop, my dude. Oh my God. There's so many corgis. I don't think it's gonna break. You broke... The jar is unfillable. Oh my God. There's corgis everywhere. They're filling up the screen. Scree! So many Yampas. Did you get your red cat? If not... Oh my God, it's still going. Still need 3K more. Oh my God. That's so many corgis. We're gonna need a grave for all the corgis we lost today. And now they're in the audience. Maybe we'll have to add like a corgi cat to the audience or something like that. In remembrance. Oh. The screen's gonna keep popping up. Oh, there's another one. Rip. Nice. Rip. I kind of want to see when it's gonna end with all the different pop-ups. I'm glad that the notification thing still works though. Finally, I worked so hard to get those things to animate well. They were a lot of fun, but man, it was crazy. The tombstone died for nothing. It almost made it into it though. It's almost there. Ooh, that's cray cray. I think. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you so much for the cheers, everybody. Thank you for all those that joined us today. Thank you for everybody that followed. Thank you for all the questions. Yeah, if you guys want to see more art stuff, there will be another art stream soon. And I will see you guys all next time. I'm sorry, my credits still do not work, so I'm just going to do a shout out and say it here. Thank you, everyone who donated today. Thank you, especially Valentara, for the massive donations. I appreciate you all. Have a good week. Peace out, yo.